Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, how are you today? Very good, very good. Alright, today we're looking at an important grammatical point, and this is also relevant to our talk on opinion paragraph writing. And this point has to do with writing good adjective clauses. So what is an adjective clause, if you know? Does anyone know what is an adjective clause? Yes, please.
It's describe a noun or pronoun.
Okay, very nice. So it is, from the title, it's an adjective clause. So it's a clause, first of all. A clause means that it has a subject and a verb. And there is a group of words which has a subject and a verb. And generally begins with relative pronouns such as which, or who, or whom, or whose, or that, okay? And it generally does what an adjective does, which is describing a noun or pronoun. So this is what we mean by an adjective clause. It is used to modify, that is to say, it is used to describe a noun or a pronoun, and they do what regular adjectives do, generally describing or modifying nouns. So an adjective clause again is a dependent clause, okay, that modifies or describes a noun and begins with who, which, whom, that, and so on, or whose. Okay, just look at these examples. Let's discuss these examples. The book which I like is on the table. Where is the adjective clause? Excuse me. Which I like. Okay, so it begins. It has a subject and a verb, and it is a clause that begins with which in this case. What book am I talking about? Which I like. So again, it is not the red book, it is not the blue book, it's not the new book or the old book, it is the book which I like. So this clause is actually functions as a description, as describing the book. Okay, and that's why we call it an adjective clause, not an adverb clause, for example, or something else. The man who wants the book is here. Where is the adjective clause? Who wants the book. And what man am I talking about? So this becomes like an adjective to the man. Not the tall man, not the old man or the young man. It is the man who wants the book. And so this is the idea of an adjective clause. It is a group of words beginning with which, or who, or whom, or that, and does the work of an adjective. Okay? The third one. The students whose hands was up was or gave the wrong answer. So the adjective clause here is whose hand was up, and it describes the students. And the last example, the car that Ahmed is driving is not here. That Ahmed is driving is an adjective clause describing the car. Is this clear? Alright, very good. Alright, now let's look at these examples and identify the adjective clause in each one of these sentences. Who would like to do the first one? Yes, please.
I play a kind of music that nobody likes. The adjective clause is here that nobody likes.
That nobody likes, yes. So this is the adjective clause that nobody likes. The second one. The second one. Yes, please. Yes, you, please. Yes.
The man who you saw
was not the famous actor. Whom you saw. Very nice. So this is the adjective clause. The third one. The third one. Yes, please.
I remember the day when I took my first airplane.
Yes, when I took all of it is the adjective clause. All right. Number four. Number four. Yes, please.
I have a neighbor whose parents live in Australia.
Whose neighbor lives in Australia is the adjective clause describing I or neighbor. It's describing the neighbor, okay? And finally, yes, please.
The book which I like is on the table.
Which I like is the adjective clause describing the book. Describing the book. So this is the idea of adjective clause. Let's look at our textbook, page 158, please. Page 158. Alright, and let's just look at the box at the top of the page. And what we have here, the first point, just a quick reminder of the adjective clauses. Number 158 I'm talking about. Adjective clauses begin with the words who, which, and that. And who is generally used for people, which is used for things, and that is used for people for things, and in formal English it is used for people. Now, in the exercise below, in exercise A, what I'd like to do is just to quickly read these examples and identify the adjective clauses in each one, the adjective clause in each one of these sentences. Yes. Let's see, as you can see in number 1, George Kingsley, who is 12 years old, wants to divorce his mother. Okay, so what we see is who is 12 years old is the adjective clause. And notice that it begins with who, and notice also the verb with an S. Why do we put a verb that wants, not want? Because it refers to George Kingsley. Okay, so just remember that the verb also agrees with the noun it is being modified by the adjective clause. Let's see number 2. Yes, please.
His mother who neglected him and his brother wants to give him the
Okay,
adjective
nice, very nice. So who neglected him and his brother? Number 3. Yes, please.
He wants to be adopted by
The Russes.
Who are his foster parents?
Very nice. So who are his foster parents is very nice. So it refers to the Russes. Okay. All right. Number 5.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Foster parents are people who take care of abused or neglected children. Who take care.
Very good. Who take care of abused or neglected children is the adjective clause referring to the people. And notice also take, not takes, because it refers to the parents or people. Okay? Iman, please.
A box that contained marijuana was in the living room.
Okay. That contained marijuana is the adjective clause. Number 6.
Yes.
Number 6, Derek, please.
Mr. Kingsley smoked marijuana, which is an illegal drug.
Okay, which is an illegal drug is the adjective clause beginning with which. Number 7, please.
The boy's father, who didn't live with their mother, didn't want the children to live with them, who didn't live with their mother.
Very nice. Who didn't live with their mother. Okay, number, the next one. Yes, Sima, please.
A lawyer who represents Mrs. Candace was a woman. Who represents
Alright, who represents Mrs. Kingsley is the adjective clause. And finally, the judge made the decision that most people agree with is the adjective clause that refers to the decision. Okay, so just a rule, the adjective clause must immediately come after the noun or pronoun it modifies. So here, that or the that clause comes after the decision. And again, who represented comes after the lawyer and so on. Don't make a space or a gap between the adjective clause and the noun it describes. Otherwise it would be confusing to the reader. Okay? So, back to the point about uses of adjective clause. Like we said, just said, who and whom are used only for people, whereas which is used for, who is the subject of the clause, of course, and whom is the object of the clause, whom, which is used for things, and that is used for things, but in informal English, it is used for people as well. Okay? What I'd like you to do is, let's look at exercise B in the next page on 159. And what I'd like you to do is to use either who or which in the appropriate blank in this exercise. So put who or which in the appropriate place. Yes, please. Alright, let's see. Number 2. Yes, please.
Sometimes the parents will know it.
Okay, so we need to use who here. Who know their child better than anyone else, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is the second one, number 3. Yes, please.
Sometimes the parents hire a matchmaker which charge a fee to find
Okay, which is a suitable here? Yeah, which a matchmaker is a person, is a woman who actually gets people together or links people up by an. Okay, so which. Okay, which. Alright, number 4. Yes, please. Sorry, who. Alright, thank you. Okay, it's a person. Alright, number 4. Yes, please.
Young people are probably very nervous at their first meet, which usually...
Which, yes, because it's at the first meeting, which usually blah, 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 blah. Number 5. Yes, please.
In some cultures, and man or woman who
doesn't like. So it is who doesn't like blah, blah, blah. Okay? And, please.
marrying for love, which is a custom in most Western cultures.
Why is it not who? Because this is not a reference. This is not a person. It's a thing. Marrying for love. And number 7. Yes, please.
The divorce rate among couples who marry for love is very high.
Very nice. So the divorce rates among couples. So we have to use who. Why is that? Because this refers to people, couple, men and women. Okay. And finally,
people who listen only.
very nice. So people, very nice. People who listen only to their hearts. Sometimes they had listened to their heads. Is this clear? Alright, let's do one more activity on this. And what I'd like you to do is to join each pair of sentences using who or whose or whom or which or that. Okay? Yes, please. All right, let's see number one. Number one. Yes, please.
They told the same man who has just come.
Very nice. So it has to be who. Who. Why is it who, not whom or whose? Because here, who is the subject of the clause, because it replaces he, and here the man is the subject of the second clause, not the object of the second clause. That's why we use who generally. Okay? Alright, yes please.
I bought them a book which is about.
Okay, again, because it's a thing, not a person, which is about magic. Okay, let's see number three. Number three, yes please.
Doctor examined the patient whom had fallen from a cliff.
Okay, let's see whom. Is that correct? Whom?
Yes.
No, not correct. No, it's not correct. Why is it not correct? We said whom is usually as the object of the clause, not the subject of the clause. Is the patient here subject or object? Subject. Okay, who had fallen from the cliff? The patient. Is this clear? Okay, so it is the subject of the clause, so it has to be who had just fallen from the cliff. So who is the subject of the clause, whereas whom is generally replaces or becomes the object of the clause for whatever sentence there is. Okay? Alright? Yes, please. Number 5.
The mechanic repaired
4.
my sister's cat, which had.
Okay, which is that correct?
Yes.
A car, which had? Okay, which had a broken, excuse me, which had a broken window. Okay? Alright, let's see number 5. There, please.
The restaurant had closed permanently whom the customer were should there.
Whom? Okay, let's see. Is that correct here? Whom? There's no object here. Alright. But there is something else. Okay? Alright, yes please. And not which. So, this is something which has to do with whose. Okay? Why whose? Because whose, like I just said, it is about or generally for possessive. Okay? For example, this is the boy whose leg was her. Whose leg was her. Okay, so it is for possessive. So the restaurant whose customers were shocked Okay, had closed permanently. Okay, this is the restaurant whose customers were shopped there had closed permanently, because whose is generally with possessive cases, not with object or subject of the pronoun. Very much like I say, like the sentence suggests, this is the boy whose leg was hurt or broken in the accident. Okay? Notice that whose leg was hurt in the accident is the adjective clause describing the boy. Okay? And it is in a possessive case, not in object as an object or a subject of a clause. Alright? Okay? Alright. Let's look at the number 6, the sixth one. Alright? The parents had, this is an easy one. Yes, please.
The parents had great respect for the teacher who had...
Very nice, because the teacher here is acting as a subject of the clause, and therefore we have to use who. Okay? Who had taught their children. Is this clear? Okay? Yes, very good. Now, we come to something new which is related to adjective clauses, and this has to do with punctuating. This has to do with punctuating adjective clauses. Generally, whenever we want to punctuate adjective clauses, there are two cases, or there are two terms that you are familiar with: defining or non-defining adjective clauses, or restrictive and non-restrictive adjective clauses. Does anyone know what do you mean by defining, non-defining, or restrictive, non-restrictive adjective clauses? It has to do with if the information that is in the clause necessary, then we call it restrictive or defining. If the information is extra, then we call it non-restrictive or non-defining, and therefore we have to put two commas to separate this extra information adjective clause from the rest of the sentence. Is this clear? Just generally this is the rule. So restrictive or defining adjective clauses, they identify. They are very much necessary information. They identify the noun or pronoun, they describe or they modify. They give necessary information and needed in order to know the noun or the pronoun being referred to. Okay, for instance, the doctor who lives in California is my sister. Now this is this is necessary information. This is defining or restrictive information. This is necessary information to define the doctor. Alright? So when I say necessary information, this is information without which I cannot understand the meaning, or I don't know who the doctor is. Okay, just imagine removing this is not really very clear. So the doctor who lives in California is necessary information. Students who do not attend the classes will fail the course. So who do not attend the classes is necessary information, and therefore no commas are used with adjective clauses which have necessary information. And the last one, the car that has broken headlights belongs to my brother. And again, this is necessary information. And remember that you never put a comma with that. This is the general rule. You never put a comma with that. On the other hand, non-restrictive adjective clauses is
give
extra information. So they are not necessary to the meaning or to the definition of the noun they refer to. And therefore, we put commas in order to separate the adjective clause from the rest of the sentence. Okay, for instance, the key which was lost belongs to my father. Or all individuals who bought tickets will be admitted. And finally, the Eiffel Tower, I know already what is the Eiffel Tower is, and therefore, which I wrote to the top, has an elevator. So these three cases indicate that these are all non-defining, non-restrictive, or extra information, and therefore we use commas between or to separate them from the rest of the sentence. Is this clear? All right. So now let's look at page 161. All right. And do the question on number A, in number A, okay? What I'd like you to do in number A, these 8 sentences, is to punctuate the adjective clauses. So put commas where necessary. And remember the rule, if the information is necessary, no commas. If it is extra, put commas in this sentence. Alright, let's see. As you can see, a country that has a queen or a king is called a monarchy. Now, with that clause, we never put sentences. We never put commas, sorry. And a country, of course, this is essential information. See, number 2, England, which has a queen. Again, we know what England is, so it is already defined. So which has a queen is considered extra information, and therefore we put commas between them to separate them from the rest of the sentence. Number 3, yes please. A pediatrician.
A pediatrician is a doctor who takes care of children.
Do we need commas? No, because we need this as essential information to define what a pediatrician is. Okay, so there is no need for commas here. Number 4, yes please. Dr.
Jones, who is our neighbor, is a pediatrician.
A pediatrician. Two commas. Why? Because it's extra information. We know Dr. Jones. It's already defined. Okay? Alright, Ina, please.
Students who studied got A's on the final exam. No commas.
No commas. Why is that? Very nice. Because this is essential information to define the students. To define the students. Which students? This is necessary information, and therefore it requires no commas. Please. Gabriel and Tren.
Who study in commas.
Okay.
Got A's.
Very nice. So who studied? Okay. Why is that? Because it's considered, we know who these people are, so it's just already so extra information. Got A's on the final exam. Please.
My birthday is next month, which is a holiday.
We actually use because we already what a Monday. It's already defined. Okay. And finally, a holiday that is especially fun for children is we don't need commas with that clause. Okay, and it is already essential information or necessary information. Is this clear? Very nice, very nice. Now,
Number 7, we put comma or not?
we need a comma here. We need a comma because we know that a Monday is already defined. Okay. Now let's just conclude with this activity on page 163, please. All right. And this is an easy exercise. All we have to do is basically join the each pair of sentences with using which or who in the appropriate way. Okay. 163. Please. Alright, are we done? Are we finished? Yes, please. Alright. Number 3. Mr.
Mr. and Mrs. Haddad, who are from Lebanon, are very British.
Is that correct? Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Haddad. Alright, who are from Lebanon? Okay, Lebanon. Are very traditional. Okay, who are from Lebanon are very traditional. Okay, number 4. Yes, please.
Jamila is the oldest daughter in the Haddad family, which immigrated to Israel.
Correct. Which, but this is not really the correct use of which here. The family, persons or people or things? People. So it has to be who. Is that correct? Yes, who immigrated to this country is a person, is a group of people. So we need who, not which. Okay? Next, please.
Her parents want her to marry a man who is 32 years old.
Very nice. So again, to marry a man who is 30 years old. Yes, please, in the back here. Please.
The husband to be lives in Lebanon, which is a country in the
All right, very nice. That lives in Lebanon, which is a country that is in the Middle East. Okay. Number 7. He owns a business. Yes, Imam, please. Okay. Okay. Say again. That he owns a business which is very successful. All right. Number 8, yes please.
People, who know him, say that.
Very nice. So people who, we don't actually need a comma here. People who know him.
Say that.
Without comma?
Yes, without comma, because this is essential information to define the people. People who know him say that he is very nice. Okay? All right.
Yes.
Number 9. Yes, please.
Jamila, who wants to go to college in her new country, ran away from the home rather to marry the man.
Excellent. So Jamila, we need to define who Jamila is. So Jamila, who wants to blah 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 country. Okay. Ran away from home, then marry that man. And finally, number 10. Mr. and Mrs. Haddad don't understand why she ran away. Yes, please, Iman, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Haddad, who thought they had arranged a good future for their daughter.
So the same idea. We embed the adjective clause in the main clause. So Mr. and Mrs. Haddad, who we just bring in the second clause because it defines who Mr. and Mrs. Haddad is. Who thought, okay, that they had the blah 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 blah. Okay. Do not understand why she ran away. Okay. So again, the idea here is that we basically put or embed the adjective clause as a defining clause in the main clause or in the main sentence. So what we've done today is basically looking at adjective clauses. And just to recap, adjective clauses are groups of words, clauses, which has a subject and a verb. And generally does the work of an adjective, which is describing a noun or pronoun. Okay? We'll continue talking about this next time, inshallah. In the meantime, take care, and I'll see you next time, inshallah. Thank you very much.